I saw you, Logan. I'm trying to get you on here. Where
Okay.
am I at? Why am I not, why am I not on screen right now? Here we go. I think. Okay. Can we? Can I add Logan? Logan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right. All right. We're live, everybody. Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. Hopefully they can hear you too. I think they should be able to. But what's going on with the Winter Wonderland down there?
Oh, it's just been snowing to beat the bands, but we got about 6 inches. Really, it's not that bad. Um, it's got out and played in it a little bit today, but that's been about it. So getting stuff done around the house.
Sounds like fun. Sounds like a good
Oh yeah,
time.
oh yeah.
So, th- since this is your first time doing the whole live stream thing, do you know what we're doing today?
I have no idea.
Okay, excellent. Let me give you some idea what I've got planned. So let you and whoever else wants to show up come in. Uh, I'm going to talk about a couple movies today. You see the nifty little green screen behind me? It's
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's the first movie I'm going to talk about is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, and then I'm going
Okay.
to talk about the and then after I say my piece on that, I'm going to talk about Anaconda 2025 with Jack Black and Paul Rudd.
Oh cool. Right on. Why? I may not be able to stay the whole streaming session, but I'll try to stay for a little bit here.
Hey, I just appreciate you showing up, man. That's the thing. Whenever we're all adults now, that's all I can ask for. Just
Yeah.
having you guys come in when you can.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Okay, so before the
go ahead.
okay, all right. So are you familiar with the 28 later movies at all? You seen any of them?
I haven't seen any of them. I've seen I may have seen a few bits and pieces uh
Hmm.
on like social media and stuff like that.
Okay, because I kind of have a unique situation here. So there are now four of the 28 movies, and I've only seen two of them.
Oh, really?
The most recent two, yeah. I ordered, whenever I ordered the 28 years later. Let me see if I can grab it without ruining everything. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
It's probably mirrored on your end, but you see what it is, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I ordered this like a month ago. I ordered it with 28 days later and 28 weeks later, which were the three that had been released until this new one that just came out. And those other two have not shown up yet.
Uh,
They said it would be a little bit behind that one. I was like, okay, that's fine. 2 weeks
let me
later, yeah, it's still coming. Don't worry about it.
let me tell you, uh shipping around here has not been the best of situations. Um we recently moved to a new
Hmm.
house in Gainesville, not to get totally off the topic. Uh but we moved to a new house.
No,
And
this is a catch-up thing, Logan. Go for it.
okay, well, we moved to this new house, and nobody can seem to figure out where to deliver a package at this house. They can't figure out, like, we've got the numbers up. Our landlord put the numbers up on our house. We had some neighbors over here in this house right next to us. They've moved out now, but they kept getting our packages and we kept getting their packages. And then here the other day, UPS delivered our package to a clearly abandoned house right behind us, with a sticker up in the window saying that the water has been shut off.
Okay, Logan, keep talking. I'm just going to add Shelby on here. See if I can.
Okay, go for it. But yeah, they delivered to a clearly abandoned house, and then like the package was open.
Shelby.
Hey Shelby, what's going on?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah. Well, they delivered this package to this. Okay, thanks. They delivered this package to this clearly abandoned house, and then it was opened and the contents were missing. So, I'm not exactly too thrilled with UPS right now.
I understand.
Yeah. So, we did talk to the company that shipped it, and they shipped another one of the products my wife had ordered. But wasn't too happy about that. But shipping has not been the greatest. I don't know how it is up there. It doesn't sound like it's that much better, but it's definitely not that great here.
It kind of depends on where it's coming from, honestly. Like I think the 2-disc thingy I bought was like from overseas, maybe. I don't know where it came from exactly, but it came from a different place than that one did. So that's why it's a delay.
Mm-hmm. Well, overseas, I've had stuff come overseas, and it's not been too bad as far, because considering that it's coming from overseas, but this was shipped in the United States, took a while to get here, and then when it got here, it wasn't even in the package. So
great.
Yeah. But anyways, you can continue though.
Well, let's talk to Shelby for a second, since he honored us with his presence. So, Shelby, how you doing?
I'm good. Just eating.
Just eating.
It's all right. It's all right. Spaghetti? Is that what that is?
No, it's ramen.
Nice.
Bodok. Spicy stir-fried ramen.
Oh, that sounds pretty good, actually.
A little spicy.
You got water there next to you?
No. I forgot.
He likes to live dangerously. What?
Living dangerously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried some chili the other day and had nothing. And honestly, for a little bit, I thought I was going to die. It's pretty spicy.
Who made it?
Oh, somebody at our church. They had like a whole chili night the other night, and it was just I picked the chili that was like one of them was really good, but then I picked this other one and it was just super spicy.
Okay, Logan, continue. I'm going to see if I can bring my sister on. I think she came in through Facebook.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the end of my story. But
Okay. Sis, can you hear us? Andrew, are you there? I hear a TV or something. That might be in Andrea's mic.
Hey,
Hey, how are you, sis?
fine. How are you?
Good. I think you might have met these two gentlemen. I don't know if you have, or it's been a while, I'm sure, since you've seen them, but got Logan and Shelby
Hi.
with me right now.
Hi, Logan.
Hey.
Hi, Shelby.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
going all right. Just cold.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
us too. I
We've
was hearing you talking about chili. Did you say you went to a chili contest?
No, my church had like a chili night the other night, and it was just they had all kinds of chili laid out there, and I just the second go around, I happened to pick this really spicy stuff that was it was, and I forgot to get anything to drink, and it was is bad ordeal for that few minutes.
Stayed with you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
How's your
Them
mama?
ladies. Oh, she's doing good. She's doing great.
Good.
She's she's nurse practitioner now, so
Oh, that's
she's
awesome.
yeah, yeah. She's doing real good. She's been seeing lots of patients and having a pretty good time at it.
That's awesome.
You guys get much snow down there or wherever you're at? I forget where you're at.
Yeah. We live in Tulsa, and yeah, it's I don't even know what the amount is, but it's a lot.
Yeah,
The
they
dogs
were.
are kind of.
They go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the dog. We have a little bitty dog, and she kind of berries up when she goes outside in the
Oh
snow.
yeah, we didn't. They were telling us we were going to get like 14 inches, and we got 6. And so I was like, I was happy, but at the same time, I haven't seen the snow like that in years. So I was slightly disappointed a little bit,
All
but
right.
At
it's
least we got something at least.
yeah,
That's
that's
right.
the main thing. We needed precipitation bad. Like it's dry. They had just
Yeah.
put on a burn ban here, and then like a day like that night it rained like the slightest bit, and the next morning people were asking if the burn ban was off because they needed to burn leaves, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. But yeah, I've enjoyed the snow. We went out and played around in a little bit, but it is it is cold, and I'm ready for some slightly warmer temperatures.
Yeah. Me
But
too. But it sure is pretty.
it's pretty. It's wonderful. We drove around town taking some pictures of town and everything. I wanted to work my way out to Hodson Mill, but I don't think that the road conditions are good enough to make it all the way out there.
My
But
husband drove to Walmart earlier, and he said he made it fine, but they closed my work for tomorrow, which I'm not sad about at all. So
oh yeah, no, I'm not sad about.
Lucky you.
Yeah, yeah. I put in for tomorrow off because I was thinking, well, if it's going to snow, then might as well put my name in the book until the roads
Yeah.
are better. I'm not even sure that I'm not going to have to call in on Tuesday because I mean they're
Oh,
working
yeah.
the roads, but I don't know that it's going to be better by the time
A
Yeah.
lot
by
of
the time
roads
that
and a
rolls
lot of
in.
bad ones.
Yeah. Well, they do they do the major highways. When I say major, I mean like the more used 2-lane blacktop, but they do that one a lot more than they do ours. So we don't have that far to go to get to it, but it's still pretty treacherous getting to the other highway. So
Yeah.
But so what about
Wow.
this movie, Zach?
Okay, can I speak now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to come in and hijack.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. These are always catch-up streams anyway. But I was just gonna have kind of a theme with this, or at least attempt one, and then see where it went. But okay, so Andrea, I'll ask you: have you ever seen 28 Days Later or any of the other
Yeah.
movies from that series?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, have you seen any of the newer ones? The one from last year or this one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well, funny thing is, I've only seen the last two. I didn't see 28 Days or 28 Weeks going into this.
Hmm.
And I have a little bit of a funny story why that is. It's kind of a theme for the evening, if you will. Because I'm talking
All
about
right.
28 years later movies, and then I'm also talking about the new Anaconda movie, came out in December.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Okay, so the theme of the night is these movies are movies that I had no interest in watching, and then my friend dragged me into it
Nice.
because Dylan Griffin brought me in to see 28 Years Later last year, and then after I saw that one, spoilers, it ends on a cliffhanger, so I knew it tied directly into this one, so I wanted to see where it was going and everything, and then when the Anaconda trailer dropped, Jacob texts me. He's like, "Hey, what do you think of that Anaconda movie? You think that'll be any fun?" And honestly, I was like, "No," but then he said, "Hey, I want to see either Avatar or Anaconda," and I'm like, "Anaconda. I'll watch Anaconda." It's like 90 minutes, so a lot less of a investment. Even if whether it's good or bad, it's a lot less of an investment.
How many of the Avatar movies are there now? Because I only seen the first one.
There's three now. Three after this last.
Three
one.
of them. Okay. Yeah, I watched the first one, and that was about it for me. I haven't seen any since.
I have seen all three of them, and I think that the sequels are fine for what they are. They're just way too damn long. That's my main problem.
Yeah.
No, I don't think any of them should be over 3 hours long.
That's yeah, 3 hours is. I think there should be a limit, honestly.
Or
Like just
at least if they're going to do a 3 hour movie, put in intermissions in films.
yeah, like
I'm so
plays
sick
used
of-
to have.
Yeah,
Like give some people some time to go to the bathroom.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
don't have to strategize when you can go to the restroom. You can just wait till like an hour and a half in and just go, then come back in 10 minutes.
yeah, of course, I'm the guy that I drink. I get like a large Sprite at the beginning of the movie, drink it in the first 5 minutes, and then I gotta go before it's even halfway through the movie. So that's my problem.
Me too.
I've gotten better at rationing drinks. I'm not good at rationing popcorn. I eat the popcorn way too fast.
Yeah, of course, my wife would be able to tell you, I can eat and drink everything like in a record amount of time, and then I do the same thing like at dinner time or anything like that. And when I get in the movie theater, it's no different. I get rid of all my stuff as quick as possible. I don't know why, but it's just a thing with me. But popcorn is the same way for me. The popcorn is something that I'll eat it here at the house too, and it'll be gone in no time, especially if it's flavored.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that they make this Cheeto popcorn now that is like the best stuff I've ever had.
Is it actually
is.
popcorn, or is it like puffs shaped like popcorn?
No. It's not the Cheeto puffs. It's actual popcorn, like covered in Cheeto dust,
Okay.
and it
Sounds
is
delicious.
fantastic. Oh, it's
So-
fantastic.
So basically, crack cocaine. That's what they're selling you.
Yeah, pretty much. They've legalized it now, apparently. So
Whatever.
yeah, but yeah, I haven't seen. I saw the first Avatar when it came out, and I don't think that I haven't seen any of them since. So, but I haven't seen any of the 28 day stuff. I don't think. I've just maybe bits and pieces.
Okay, so since you actually have seen the older movies, I'm just gonna say like the basic premise for these guys. I don't know if Shelby's seen any of them either, but basically, from what I understand, is it takes place in Britain, and they were experimenting on an ape, and he got infected with something they called a rage virus, and then he started to be bit a few people, and it's basically like a zombie apocalypse that started because of that.
Sounds like
But
COVID.
it's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a. I mean,
It's a little too close to home, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Giving me
Yeah.
flashbacks.
but yeah, it's like it's not zombie in the traditional way. It's like just infected people. Like you get the rage virus, and it causes you to go crazy and spew up some blood and attack people, and fun, child-friendly stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. That it either sounds like COVID or Black Friday shopping. Either one of those, I'll tell you. But
I think, thankfully, I think Black Friday was basically over before COVID happened.
yeah,
Like that. That's kind of a
honest-
good thing. Now,
yeah, I say that, but Black Friday is so much more toned down than when it was when I was a kid. Because there were when I was a kid, there were people dying from Black Friday.
getting trampled.
and-
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they'd get trampled to death. And Black Friday now, this last year was probably the most chill Black Friday I've ever seen in my life. It was just one thing. It was all spread out, and they had stuff in the stores like months ahead of time. And
hmm
so it was just, honestly, I think honestly, if you go into Black Friday now, I think they've done that probably because of the public pressure to tone it down a little bit, but
yeah.
it's
Yeah, I think online shopping has changed things significantly too.
it has because I know that because I mean we get packages at our doorstep all the time, but that's that's just one of the things of the 2020s, I guess, is
Yeah.
all the online shopping and everything. But now I'm sure it stresses out the delivery drivers quite a bit, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah, my cousin Haley could attest to that, probably.
no, really.
Yeah.
I've honestly I've enjoyed the online shopping a lot because I'm one of those people that I forget to buy ahead of time, and if I think about it soon enough, I can get on and find something like really quick instead of having to rush out to a store or something. So online shopping is really kind of a better thing for me. I really ought to just be buying my stuff more ahead of time, but it's a better thing for me. But
Thanks, honey. It's in the sink, but thank you.
Hi, David.
Hello.
He brought me a glass of wine.
That's nice of him.
way to go, David.
He's winning. He's winning husband of the year.
Yeah, well, good.
I'm actually surprised I could hear him in that.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
you
I got
know
a
this.
brand new phone.
Oh, well, that helps. That
Yeah,
does
I
help.
think the speaker works really well.
I ended up buying a phone here. Well, I had here back this last year. I had some bad phone troubles, but I ended up buying a new phone, and I got the Samsung, the S25 Plus, and I've really liked it a lot.
Yeah,
cool.
nice.
The probably the newest phone I've ever bought, because I normally am buying like older model phones off of Amazon for
Yeah.
a lot less money, but this I've enjoyed this phone quite a bit.
Did you drop your last one in the toilet again?
No, I had my last one that I had for like less than a month, and was waiting. I ordered the phone case online, and I was waiting for it to come in, and I dropped the phone on the ground and had to file insurance on it and get a new phone. So, and the one before that just crapped out. But yeah, I had that phone less than a month, and it was done. So
Dang it.
yeah,
Back when Logan and I were in college, Logan had some difficulties with the phone and not dropping it in the toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Taylor dropped hers in the toilet too, like on our way to your house, Zach. I mean, like, and we had to stop at the grocery store, like a grocery store on the way, and get rice,
Yep.
and Ziploc bags, and we tried. It was such an adventure.
oh my first phone that I ever had, it went away because I washed it and dried it, and there wasn't any amount of rice. It was done. Yeah, it was that, but it was a little bitty LG flip phone that was like that big. It was a little bitty tiny thing, and it was just done for. And I think I was like in the 8th grade, so that pretty
Yeah.
much got me in quite a bit of trouble. But
Yeah.
anyways, oh, so when is this? When's this movie? Does the movie come out?
Okay.
I guess.
So last summer, 28 Years Later came out.
Okay.
And this, just so you know, going in, like, even if you had seen the old movies, these are like kind of like spin-offs. They're not entirely like connected to the originals.
Oh, really?
Basically, they just took like the concept of the infection spreading out. First two movies, it spreads out quite a bit, but then they eventually like get it kind of under control. And then this 28 Years Later is like after the islands of Britain and all the places that were affected by it are quarantined, basically. So
Gotcha.
So you're seeing it from. I'll go ahead and get into the story now. You understand the premise. So we have this 12-year-old kid named Spike who lives on the Holy Island. That's what they call it. So that's a real place. This little bitty thing that has like can't think of what they're called. It's like a crossway or something, where it's like technically a peninsula, but the connecting to the mainland, like whenever high tide happens, it floods it to where you can't cross
okay.
it. So this kid has lived on Holy Island his whole life, and then the first part of the story is he's going to the mainland the first time with his dad because they're going on a hunt basically. Whenever it's low tide, they can leave the island and go to the mainland. But then a couple hours later, when the tide comes in, you can't go back. You have to wait till like the next day when the tide goes down to try to go home.
Gotcha.
So it's a really dangerous thing. Like it's a rite of passage type thing where it's like normally the village elder like that they're talking to is like Spike's too young to do this. He's only 12 years old, but Jamie, the dad, said, he's ready. I've trained him good enough that he's ready to do this. And so that's what they do. And based on the trailers, that's what it looked like the whole movie was going to be. It was just that hunt that they go on. They get stuck on the mainland, and then there's a bunch of infected and other dangerous things happening that they have to deal with.
They're just trying to survive.
Yeah. And that's the dad is Jamie is Aaron Taylor Johnson, if you know who that is. The guy from when he was younger, he was Kick-Ass, and then was Quicksilver in the Marvel movies. And what was his most recent thing?
I might remember that. Yeah.
Here, I'll see if you can see this. He's the guy in the middle right here. He's good with long hair and a beard. You see him?
Yeah. Yeah, I see him. Yeah,
okay.
I remember him.
Okay. But yeah, so it seemed like the whole story was going to be about Jamie and Spike going on the hunts and then getting stuck and going through the dangers of the mainland. But that's really only the first third of the movie. So that was the first thing that surprised me. I was like, wait, what? They made it back? You know, like it's dangerous. They saw some crazy stuff that when they were dealing with infecteds and stuff, but then they come home and they're partying, and I'm like, what? I thought the movie would end like with this, not like 40 minutes in and we're back here already. But
yeah,
I will say what they do with the infected is really interesting in this new series. So the infected originally, they were just like zombies, like just angry things running at you and they see you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, in the decades since the infection broke out, the zombies or the infected have changed and evolved different ways. So there's different types of infected that you run into. And
oh yeah,
you know, it's kind of video game-esque in that way, where there's different types you have to worry about that use different abilities and stuff to go after you. But the big one, but the one you have to worry about is the alpha. That's what they call it, where it's basically like the rage virus turned into steroids for some of the infected. Just turned them into these hulking, like cavemen looking things that.
Okay.
Yeah, they lead the groups of infected that are around them. So
I never did fully watch like the Walking Dead series all the way through, but I remember that basically the zombies in that were pretty much all the same if I didn't miss something. But so I would say that would be something that kind of developed a little further on, because in The Walking Dead, I mean the main characters, like the regular human characters were all had their differences, but the zombies, a lot of them were basically the same.
mm-hmm.
So in the It sounds like in this movie that they've kind of went a little bit further with the actual zombies.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but a few years ago, Zack Snyder did Army of the Dead. That was a Netflix movie where it's set in Las Vegas during the aftermath of an outbreak. And
Oh, really?
there's this. It's weird that the zombies have like a society kind of where there is like a lead male and lead female of the
Like a hierarchy.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of it kind of reminded me of that. Like there's
You
some
know,
story elements that reminded me of that.
isn't that in the movie called The Legend with Will Smith?
No,
That
I am Legend.
I Am Legend. I Am
Yeah,
Legend.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
That
that
kind
Also,
movie.
it's also kind of like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say that kind of did the same thing. And then they had like the ending of the movie in I Am Legend they had like a different ending that
hmm
kind of showed that a little bit. I think from what I remember.
yeah. There are two different endings. The one where Will Smith uses the grenade to kill them all to get the mom and daughter to safety, or the one where he actually gives the bride back to the male, and
Yeah.
they realize, oh, they're actually like people like us, that kind of
Hmm.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
they like humanized it.
yeah. That
I
that
kind of
is something that these movies, the 28 Years movies, have done really well. That I'll get into a little bit later.
feel like that the if you're gonna do a zombie movie that kind of makes it quite a bit better. It does it's not just the same thing all the time. It kind of builds.
Not just cannon fodder either. Like just
Yeah.
if it's like just hundreds of the undead, and you just keep shooting them or whatever. But it's like
Well,
it gets boring if you don't mix it up a little bit.
every once in a while that's fine, but like mix it up a little bit so that it's not just like you said, like the same thing kind of all the time, and just if you mix it up some, it's not it makes for a better movie or a better show.
hmm Yeah. So there is kind of a thing with the 28 Years movies. I mentioned that Jamie and Spike go on a hunt to the mainland in the beginning of this one. It's not actually what I thought it was going in because they have bows and arrows because it's like they've kind of gone back to a more primitive society. So they can't manufacture bullets or musket balls or things like that.
Yeah.
So they're out hunting with their bows, and I was thinking, oh, they're gonna go hunt deer or whatever livestock you could find in the mainland, but it's not that. It's actually he's taken Spike out to do his first kill, to kill an infected, basically.
Okay. So they've kind of
So
made it like a ritual, like hunters around here do with their kids almost.
yeah, but instead of hunting like a deer or something, it's hunting what is basically a person, but
Yeah.
just an infected person.
Hmm.
So I was
So that
like,
was
oh,
one.
so that's like, oh, that's kind of interesting and different than what I was like,
Yeah.
that kind of makes me feel bad. I kind of don't like that. I was like,
Yeah. Well, and that you mentioned the fact that they can't manufacture weapons. That was another thing about The Walking Dead like that always got me. Now later on, they did kind of get into that a little bit, where they started using more kind of melee type of weapons in the show. But in the beginning, there is absolutely no way that you can carry that much ammunition around for a group of people.
Yeah.
And they did that on the show, and it was like a big plot hole, I felt like, in the show, and I could be wrong, but I felt like it was, because you just had, they were using all this ammunition, and I'm like, where's it coming from?
Yeah. Just
But
raiding every sporting goods store in America. And that's how
you'd
they
have
keep their bullets, I guess.
you would have to, and it would have to be that group that did it, because there's no way that you could carry that much around with you. But I find that interesting that they kind of covered that plot hole in the movie.
Hmm.
But
And I do just want to mention this because it might bother you, might not, about the film, but it's directed by Danny Boyle, who did the original 28 Days Later. But he's a very experimental type of filmmaker where he will do some sound editing and some visuals. Like the way he like cuts things together is really odd in some scenes. Like it's I see the point of them, but it still kind of takes me out of it a little bit when he does it. Like the scene with Spike and Jamie on the bridge going out to the mainland. In the trailer, they used the musical thing too from this, but it's the Boots poem about the soldiers marching. And
oh, really?
while that audio is playing, you see them walking, and then it will cut to like military footage from the past of soldiers marching, and then they'll cut to like there was an old British film that it showed too, where it showed like soldiers on a castle shooting at invaders with the bows and arrows. So it's kind of like showing how this post-apocalypse for Britain is like it's kind of rewound the clock on everything to where it's kind of like way back in the Middle Ages now, kind of is what their world is like now.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and it's like because of the intensity of that poem, that like just it's like its repetitive nature and everything, it just kept building up the tension as they're going across the bridge to the dangerous mainland. So it's like it's really interesting, but I didn't really know what to make of it the first time I saw it. I was like, it was like every time I'd like start to focus on something, it was something else would cut across the screen for a second, and then it would go back. One of those kind of things.
Well, I'm no director or film editor or anything like that, but I would say that was probably kind of intentional to kind of throw off the viewer a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to kind of start that kind of in the uncertainty in the viewer a little bit.
Yeah. It just the 28 Years Later was one of those movies that I had to watch a second time to really appreciate everything it does. Because it's like sensory overload kind of the first time you see it, or just between the sound and the visuals and the everything. And this, like I said, he's very experimental. The director built this rig of like 16 iPhones as a camera rig. And there's certain scenes that it's shot. I think most of the movie was shot with them where he gets like a 360-degree view of the characters in front of the camera, and he can just like cut to different angles during different points because it's all filmed at the same time.
Man, 16 iPhones. No wonder movies cost so much.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Boy, that.
I love
Do
that
what?
actress that's in it. I love that actress that's in it. Jodie Comer. She was in Killing Eve. And
Okay,
she's
I
like
heard
she
about.
plays
I've
a
heard about.
sociopath. She's freaking amazing. And I just find her a very fascinating actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's Spike's mom in the story, so just so
Right.
everybody knows who she plays. And she's really important to the story. Like, you don't realize how important she is until later in the story. Like, Spike kind of has like two different journeys he goes on in this movie. He goes on the hunt with his dad, like we expected, but then there's a storyline with her that is she has an unknown sickness that he's trying to find a cure for her.
Yeah.
So he ends up, I'm not spoiling everything. I'm just spoiling like the main points, just so you understand kind of where the plot goes.
Yeah.
But he and his mom, and he takes her to the mainland. So he goes back to the mainland. He goes on the mainland twice in the movie, and it's all on the faint hope that this doctor he's heard about is still out there in the wild, where his father told him about him, and he's like, everybody just says he's crazy, so don't go anywhere near him. But Spike realizes that his mom is sick and she's not getting any better, so he takes her with him to try to diagnose what's wrong with her. And so
okay.
So just so you know, it's not an action survival movie exactly. Like, there's parts of it that are that, but there's also like a really big emotional core of the story that comes in like after the first third of the movie comes into,
Well, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And then he goes on this journey to the mainland with his mom, and they eventually do find the doctor. I'll see if I think I can do this without screwing anything up here. Let me see. I have these like slides and stuff that I can show. I'll just see if I can bring them out. I'll rearrange the screen whenever I do this. Let's see. Okay. Is everybody still with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of tying in both films together, but everybody see my mouse? Can you see me? Or what can you guys see? I just want to know.
I just see all the users on the left, and then the movie poster that you put up there.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
same.
Okay, just want to make sure that I knew what you guys were seeing. Okay, so the doctor that they're looking for is Dr. Kelson, who is Ray Fiennes, who's the guy with the blow dart gun on my right. I think it's on your right, but
yeah.
But he plays a really important part. Like, he plays kind of a smaller role in 28 Years Later, but the next movie, Bone Temple, he plays a really big part in it. So he's trying to find Kelson. Shenanigans, misadventures happen on the way there, and you see the big hairy guy opposite Kelson over on the other side. This is one of the alphas. He's a really he becomes
Okay,
a
you
really
said shenanigans? You said shenanigans happen? Shenanigans are fun. So is it fun?
I was using the term facetiously, sis.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I see.
Zombie shenanigans.
Right. I mean, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, so this guy, the big guy with opposite Kelson.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah. He's like the alpha of the area that Kelson is in. And it's really interesting to see that Kelson, like, his relationship with the undead or the infected is very different than everybody else's in Britain. because he actually is a doctor and like a scientist. So he's actually been studying the infected to try to figure out how they operate and like figure out what's wrong with
How they're-
them, like how the virus works and everything.
Wow. He's a
So this,
researcher.
yeah, kind of like you remember Jane Goodall with the gorillas, like that,
Mhm.
that kind of idea where it's a scientist out in the wilderness trying to study another group of animals that figure out
Right.
how they operate. But
Mhm.
he nicknames the big guy Samson. Is his
Hmm.
That's
that,
appropriate.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's the name that he chose because of his stature. Because he's like, I think the guy who played him is like 6'7", but then they also like shoot him at low angles, so he just like is the full screen is just him when he's on screen.
So he
Six
looks like a
foot
giant.
7. Yeah. I remember somebody that was 6'7".
Yeah, we're all thinking it, Logan. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Good old Jacob.
yeah.
So I gotta interject here, and then I'm
Yeah,
probably
good.
gonna have to get off here. But
Okay.
so Jacob came down and saw my house like right before we moved into it, and I'm fairly certain, if I remember correctly, he actually whacked his head on one of the doorways. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. So, and he's done that multiple times because he's so tall, and
Yeah.
it's just I I feel for him, but I can't help it. I love the guy, but it is kind of fun to watch. And if he sees this, I'm sorry, Jacob, but it's a little fun to watch. So, but he'll understand. He's
He
he's what
pulls a Gandalf in a Hobbit home kind of thing.
Yeah, he's watched me do a numerous amounts of embarrassing stuff to myself. So um, I think he understands. But anyways, I hate to get off here, guys. I'm
That's
gonna
tall
leave.
people problems.
Yeah, it's tall people problems. It is. Well, I hate to get off here, guys. I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm probably going to have to get going. But you guys have it.
All right, Logan. I appreciate you coming. It was
Yeah,
really
bye,
Well,
good
Logan.
to
It's
have
good
you.
to see you.
guys, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Good to hear from you. You guys take care.
You
Yeah,
too.
we'll
Bye-bye.
we'll do this again in the future. All right.
All right, sounds good. Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Okay. Can everybody still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Shelby. We haven't talked to you in a little bit. You still okay?
I think so.
You did you finish the ramen without burning your tongue too badly?
I think I've recovered now.
Okay. That's how we got into the spicy foods conversation earlier. Sis was he was eating
We
spicy
having
ramen.
spicy ramen. Yum. Do you do fancy ramen, like where you fancy it up, or you just eat it just like it comes?
Spicier than I thought it was gonna be.
You either overestimated yourself or underestimated the ramen.
Well, it's been a while since I've had it, and I forgot. So it was,
Well, I made
and
fancy ramen the other
all of
night,
McDonald's
and
decided to close early, so
oh dang, had to go back to Old Faithful,
it was
huh?
that or cereal.
I just realized I got a comment over here in the. How many people are watching? I wonder if I can see. That's cool. I did have an. Oh, I think Sis left. Okay. So Shelby, are you good with me continuing on, or wait? Hold on, Andrew's coming back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to leave.
Hey sis, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to leave. I was trying to go back and I completely exited.
No worries. We're all still learning here, so I'm trying to figure out how to do all these things. So
Same.
uh, I realized I got a comment from somebody that just a few minutes ago. They're saying 28 years later focuses on the uninfected island, while the Bone Temple focuses on the mainland infected community. That's a pretty succinct way of saying it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we get to Dr. Kelson, we get to really important stuff with the movie because he figures that because he does have Kelson look after his mom, see what's going on with her, and this is I'm sworn to you, the movie will really tug at your heartstrings when
Oh,
he does confirm that that the mom is dying. So it's like,
sad.
I won't spoil what happened, what exactly is going on, but just, yeah, I'm just, I wasn't quite prepared for it going in because it was, I thought it'd just be a zombie action survival movie, you know, but then it's like, oh no, you're actually confronted with the death of people you care about, and you have to figure out that at a very young age for Spike because he's only 12. So it's,
Hmm.
but I will say all the stuff with him and Jodie Comer and Ray Fiennes, Dr. Kelson, is all really good. Like it's probably the stuff that I think about the most in the movie is their conversations that they have toward the end with that.
Hmm.
Again, not here to spoil everything, just tell you kind of what the story's about, and so I'll continue. Just, but what I think I kind of got sidetracked. You know, the whole thing with Kelson and Samson, how he
Yeah.
like he named him Samson and everything. They have like a relationship kind of. It's really
Yeah.
interesting. So the blow dart gun that you see Kelson has there, he has these little homemade darts that have morphine and something else in it. It's a cocktail that he came up with. So whenever Samson shows up and like is threatening him, he can tranquilize him basically with it. So but it's in a humane way, like not he doesn't just kill him. You know, like a lot of people would just try to kill him if he showed up like that. But he just tranquilizes him. He goes to sleep for a little bit, and he takes the dart out and just leaves. So it's like,
Hmm.
I thought that was kind of annoying at first because I'm like, this guy is very dangerous, and he's going to try to kill you as soon as he comes to. It's like, why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of figure it out in the next movie why they're doing that, like what the purpose of it was. So I was like okay, that's interesting that he's clearly like Kelson's like a pacifist, so he doesn't want to cause harm to these people, even though they're infected. He's again studying them. He's trying to find a cure for everything. See if he can at least alleviate some of what they're dealing with. So it just really is
Doesn't
not
want to
something I expected from a stereotypical zombie movie type thing. That that made it
So he
really
doesn't want to
interesting.
disrupt their he doesn't want to disrupt their ecosystem.
That's kind of part of it, because he does view them as like, well, yeah, like an ecosystem where it, but like, and he also, just because he views them as people, not as animals, like that's kind of the
Yeah.
difference too, how he sees them differently. And since he was a doctor before the infection happened, he still has kind of the Hippocratic oath in him, where he's trying to
Mm.
sees the problem with someone and trying to diagnose it and help them at all if he can.
I
So
see.
that's again, this whole part of the movie I just didn't expect at all, and that's why it like really stuck with me and thought was really interesting. And I could tell like the way that part of the story ends, Spike is leaves Dr. Kelson, but I was like, okay, but we're not done with Dr. Kelson. Like I could tell that that was going to be something for the sequel. Like they were, so like Kelson and Samson were both like really important, and I was like that they're going to be
Yeah.
important going forward. But I haven't even mentioned it. The background behind me and the background you can look at on the thumbnail there is the Bone Temple, which is a really interesting concept that Dr. Kelson, it's his making, he made it, but it from the trailers and the posters and everything, it just looks horrifying when you look at it, because it's literally like these trees that have like bones wrapped around them, and then there's this giant. I don't know if you can see it if I move, but there's a giant pillar of like in the middle of everything that has the skulls on it. So it's very morbid looking when you first see it. That it's kind of terrifying, because you you're thinking of like,
It's
post apocalypse, something horrible's happened. There's some kind of like cannibals or something. That's kind of where my mind went. So it's like something really bad is happening in this area, but it's not that. Dr. Kelson, his what he does is he finds the dead people, and he cremates them, like all but just like their skulls, and some of their bones are left over too, but it's like the way he puts it in the movie is he built it as a monument to the dead, not some kind of sick thing, like it's nothing perverse. It's just like all these people existed, and he wanted them to be remembered.
Hmm. So it's a memorial, not
And
something
you can
to
tell
evoke
he's
fear.
been doing it nearly 30. Exactly, yeah. That's There is kind of a thing with the 28 years movies I've noticed in the trailers, and like trailers and marketing versus the actual films, is that they use imagery in kind of a deceptive way, where you
Hmm.
to make you think one thing when you are going into the film, but when you pull it back and look at it in the actual film, it's completely different than what you think it is, which might annoy some people, because there's always all people complain about like being dishonest in marketing, but I actually think it's kind of a strength of these movies, is that it's never quite what you expect going into it.
Mm.
So the Bone Temple is established in this movie with Dr. Kelson. That's basically where he lives, is in around the Bone Temple, and it's it's kind of funny that it's called a bone temple when it's literally just a bunch of pillars. Basically, it's not really a building. It's just like he basically took a forest, a small forest, like a group of trees, and then just decorated them that way to make it like a kind of a shelter, sort of, but there's no branches or anything on top, so it's not like it's not really like you're protected at all going into it. Just it is like a memorial, you know, like when you go to a like a giant plaque or something, you know, with the names inscribed on it and that kind of thing, where you can walk through it, but it's not really a shelter. It's just
Yeah.
it's just really interesting. I that's something that these movies are just to me is just really they. It's a movie that the first time I watched it, I just didn't get it really. Like it, Griff actually got really mad because this was not what he was expecting or wanting at all from the movie, and I was just kind of confused through most of it, like not really understanding why you're doing all this, and then we'll talk about the ending in just a couple minutes, but the ending kind of throws you for a loop too. So, anyways, you see Spike goes. You think he's going back home to, and there's a plot line I'm specifically not mentioning something because I want it to surprise you because it's really surprising in the movie that Spike goes through, but you think he's going back to Holy Island, like he leaves Dr. Kelson and is going back home, which he does, but he doesn't go back to stay there. Like he delivers something really important to the village, but then he leaves. Like he leaves it at the gate. So now he's by himself, surviving. And this is where I could kind of tell the movie was about over, because then you see him out in the wilderness, you know, just live at a camp and everything, and then a whole bunch of infected show up, and I was like, okay, and I knew there was going to be a sequel to it, so I was like, is he gonna pull his bow and arrow and like whenever they start charging at him and it's gonna cut to black, like that kind of ending? But no, no, then some other characters show up that if you are looking at the screen there, behind Kelson and Samson, you get introduced to the Jimmies, which is probably the weirdest thing in the entire film. Is just this group of people dressed up in colorful tracksuits, wearing blonde wigs, and they're killing zombies left and right. Like when they show up, that well, they see Spike is outnumbered, and then the lead Jimmy Crystal, who's Jack O'Connell, he's the guy in the very middle, the leader of the Jimmies, and he's like, would you like our assistance when the situation? So Spike's like, yeah, of course, because there's a dozen zombies coming. He's not going to be able to take them all on. So then these people show up and just massacre these zombies with like really brutal and screwed up ways with it. And they're doing it, and then you can tell that they're like having fun while they're doing it in kind of a sick way. So I was like, I don't like these guys. These guys are weird. I don't like the situation that we're in now. But then Jimmy goes up to Spike and introduces himself. He says, "Let's be pals." And I was like, ugh, because that's where it actually ends. I was like something about these guys is just really off. And I was like, I don't. There's this whole thing that I do like in apocalypse stories where there's like zombies and stuff, that they're also other survivors that are actually like a bigger threat than the undead. It's one of those type of situations where it's like, I know these guys are not infected, like they're human technically, but that kind of makes them more dangerous because you
Yeah.
don't know exactly what plans are with you when you meet them. So it's like Last of Us has a big thing with that, with the like the Seraphites and all these different groups of people that are survivors like you, but they're not like you at all. They
They're
have
psycho.
completely different beliefs and everything. That yeah, and I will say it was funny when I watched this with Griff in the theater because 2025 also the movie Sinners came out just a few months before that, and Jack O'Connell is in that movie as the vampire character, like the main villain technically. So when I figured out that was Jack O'Connell, it took me a second because of his attire and the wig, and even he wears a little tiara too. So he's just like a really bizarre character.
Yeah.
And but then I think it was like when he smiled, I was like, oh wait a minute, that's the guy, that's the vampire guy from that thing I just watched a couple months ago. So my trust levels were sinking rapidly with this character because he's basically like in Sinners, he's a vampire. He's basically a cult leader in it. And then, not to say too much about the next one yet, but Bone Temple, he's basically a cult leader too. So it's like I hope he doesn't get typecast as this type of character. I hope he gets to play other things too. But
But he
that's
does
quite
it
a
well.
double whammy of those two roles back to back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to jump off here.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
for letting
um,
me be a part of this.
I appreciate it, sis. I'm glad you showed up, and now that you know how this works, we can do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Bye, Shelby.
Later, sis.
Bye, see.
Okay, Shelby, can you still hear me?
Yeah, but I think I gotta go. Getting ready to fall asleep.
Okay.
Way
Well,
past my bedtime.
I understand. I do. Yeah, I do have a question for you though. I do have a game that I was going to play if if there's anybody still on later. So
Mhm.
I don't know if you want to dip out for a little bit. I might play that game if there's people around at the time. But I was just trying to get through the movie stuff first. But if you got to go, I understand. I just wanted to mention that.
I was um, probably go to sleep in like 10 minutes.
Okay, then yeah, you probably do need to go to bed. But I just I appreciate you showing up and being a part of this, and I'll carry on the show best I can.
Yeah. Well, have fun.
I'll do
I'm
my best.
probably gonna put on 28 years later and fall asleep to it because I haven't watched it yet.
You might have nightmares. All I'm gonna say is you might have nightmares.
Eh, I'll be fine.
But that's it's fine. Yeah, best of luck, Shelly.
See ya.
Yeah. Okay, audience, just you and me now. I'll keep an eye out, see if anybody else shows up. But let's move on to 28 years later, The Bone Temple, the brand new release, and just go over some thoughts here. Uh, so now we have Spike is with the Jimmies, and it's not looking good for him. He's basically in a cult now. But let me just pull up a picture and see if I can. Yes, here we go. Here we go. The Jimmies. Yes, the gang of crazy people living in the apocalypse. So now poor Spike's with them, and we got and he goes through a really disturbing initiation sequence that, well, blood doesn't really bother me in films, but I will say seeing someone get stabbed with a knife and bleeding out on screen because of it kind of triggered me a little bit because, to just not to get too personal, but something like that happened to me once with my hand. My knife blade went through my hand and spurted out blood, so I kind of got some PTSD for a second in this movie. So thanks for that. That was fun. So Jimmy officially welcomes Spike as one of his followers, and he's one of the fingers now. And then they just have a jolly old time of inviting themselves into people's homes, and then as soon as they get what they want from those people, sacrificing them. Because Jimmy Boy is actually a Satanist. I did not expect that going in to it. I mean, he does have the necklace and everything with the upside down cross, but that doesn't always mean that he's a Satanist. Maybe just really like St. Peter. I don't know. He believes that he is basically the Antichrist, and he's gonna go out and deliver souls to hell. Just crazy stuff. I didn't mention, but in the very opening of 28 years later, you do actually see Jimmy's backstory, and it's kind of confusing the first time you see it. But it's a kid living next to a church, and his dad's a preacher, and his family gets killed by the infected, and Jimmy hides in the church from the infected, but still sees his dad get killed by them. And yeah, that would screw somebody up mentally. So I kind of get why he is the way he is, but still not an excuse for what he's doing. But I guess it's kind of true, the child of a pastor or anything like that rebelling against their father. I mean, literally converts the cross that his dad gave him. So it's like, okay, yeah, I see what they're doing there. But that's really bleak and terrifying. So let's check in with our other boys. We have, what's Kelson and Samson up to? Well, Kelson is still observing the infected, still having a good time with that. But something's different about Samson in this movie. You can kind of tell immediately that, well, Samson comes to him, he goes out of him, and after he sedates him with the morphine and takes the arrows out of him so he can heal a little bit. But then it's like eventually you figure out, oh, actually Samson kind of likes Kelson. Like he's not really out to get him like you thought he was at first. And he just really likes morphine. He likes getting shot with the morphine darts and zoning out. But see, that it's important because it ties into the infection and how it operates, because you get a little hint of it from Samson's POV, like the very first time you see him in this movie, that he sees another person, but he sees them as an infected, and that's why he attacks them. So Kelson has this idea that the infection is like psychosis. So with the sedation, it quiets the person's mind, so they're not like, it makes them more docile instead of violent. But Samson's a big guy. He kind of goes through a big store of morphine quickly. So Kelson's happy that he's kind of made friends with this giant zombie caveman dude, but it's not going to last. So he has to figure out some other way to still be friends with him, even though he's not like to make him non-violent, but figure out a more permanent solution. So he starts experimenting, trying to figure out what the chemical compound is, what he needs to do, how he needs to treat Samson. I always find this stuff interesting when there's someone that is sick in a story, and then but something unknown, and then they have to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with them, or at least treat it to make it more bearable. But I find this whole sequence with Kelson and Samson is fascinating, where eventually they get like friendly enough that Kelson's not afraid for his life with Samson. Like Samson's not going to tear his head off the second he wakes up. So Kelson actually does a little morphine too, get a little high, have some, and listen to music and dancing with the zombie, and it's such a weird film, but I really appreciate how weird it gets. Like it's so. I get to contrast all the vile stuff with the Jimmies. They did something really kind of sweet and innocent with these two characters that I like. I like that the movie is about duality with humans, and like how we can be violent and evil, or we could be docile and friendly with each other. I like that they really explore that in an interesting way. And then let's go back to the Jimmies for a second. There is another character in the Jimmies gang that you can tell is like important to the story, because she is like with Spike a lot, and she's a little callous, because they're all kind of callous toward humanity and everything. Bad as the others, definitely not as bad as Jimmy himself. But like, I always find those characters interesting, that there's more of a nuance to them, that they're not they're going along with this cult ideology, but only because they don't have anything else. Like the cult saved them when they were younger, but they don't know anything. They don't know anything different, but they don't want to live in the cult forever. Like, I find that really interesting. Jimmy Inc., I think, is her code name that Jimmy gave her, but I just call her Big Sis because that's the energy that she brings. Erin Kellyman's the actress. You might know her from like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, The Green Knight. just one of those faces I always recognize when I see her. But it's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool they brought her in for this. And I like that she is kind of looking out for Spike, even though it's not really a friendly relationship at first. But yeah, their whole dynamic throughout the movie is really interesting. And because of her, she actually sees the Bone Temple, and she sees Kelson, and she sees Samson all together. And because they're in a Satanistic cult, she sees all these statues, like these structures made out of bone, and this guy that's all like orange skinned and consorting with a demon, as they call the infected. She's like, "Is that old Nick?" See, I didn't know what old Nick meant at first, but like, that's an idiom for Satan. I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. Going with the whole misinterpretation idea that I was talking about earlier. As you see the symbols of everything visually, I understand why she thought that that's what she was seeing. But it really was not that at all. I thought that was really interesting. So then she naturally reports back to Sir Jimmy, and she's like, hey, so you said Satan was your dad? And I will say Jack O'Connell and her back and forth was really funny in this. He's looking through the binoculars and like seeing the Bone Temple, and it's like, oh, this must be new. Or he's trying to play it off, like he has no fucking clue that existed. That's all brand new to him. He's trying to bullshit his way into not being called a fraud. I just love comedy like that, where it's like a character, especially a villain, that's a natural bullshit artist, getting called out, and other people starting to realize that they're not like a prophet, or they're not as smart as they thought this guy was. I love stuff like that. So naturally, Jimmy's kind of freaking out. It's like, oh no, I have to figure out who that guy is. Is he really Satan? And if he isn't, I'm screwed. If he is, I might be screwed. So he goes, checks out the Bone Temple for himself, and it's just so funny. I love the interaction between Jimmy and Kelson when they meet, because Kelson, like I said before, he's like a pacifist. He's not gonna try to harm somebody else just for showing up. Even though he figured out Jimmy pretty fast that he's dangerous, and if he doesn't say the right things, if he doesn't do the right things around Jimmy would kill him, like pretty outright. But it's also interesting because when they're conversing with each other, they have Kelson's kind of playing the role of his father, or a father figure kind of thing for Jimmy. Because Jimmy was just a kid when the apocalypse happened, and Kelson was an adult, so he's quite a bit older than Jimmy. So he's like trying to figure out what's this guy's deal, because he's clearly crazy, but there's something else to him where it's like he says he can speak to Satan, and like Satan commands him to do things, and Kelson's like, so this guy hears voices in his head, and he thinks that that's Satan. And then because of the trauma he had as a kid, he thought that Satan was actually his dad. Like it's really interesting. I like discussions like this, like psychology and philosophy, like this, like how people kind of make things up about their lives, about their pasts, and they and they begin to believe the faith over time that that's what actually happened when that's clearly not what happened. We saw what happened, but there's so many moving pieces in this that I really like. I like the stuff with that conversation with Kelson and Jimmy, and that Jimmy basically makes a deal with Kelson. It's like, hey, would you mind tomorrow night if me and my mates showed up and you could just dress up like you're Satan and make everyone of my followers think that you're the real deal, so they don't stop believing in that I'm your chosen one. It's so funny, and I do think it's kind of a missed opportunity maybe with Samson, because Samson technically has been administered a cure at this point by the doctor. Like, it's not 100%, not 100%. But after the meds are given to him, he runs off into the wilderness, try to sort himself out. I do kind of wish that Samson was more involved in the later part of the story, because I think it would have been cool if, the Jimmies are all in the temple with Kelson and then like threatening him, and then Samson just shows up and like just starts massacring the bad guys. I think that would have been cool, but I do appreciate what they do with Samson too. Like, it's definitely not bad. I think it's really interesting. So Samson, you can kind of see it after he goes off on the wilderness. His senses are kind of coming back to him, where it's like he realizes that he's naked. First of all, like, not like the infected don't even think about that, but then he realizes, oh, I'm in the wilderness and I don't have any pants or anything on, so better cover that up somehow. I was like, that's interesting. Just the small little return of humanity slowly over the course of a few minutes in the film, but that's really interesting. And then he goes to this there's this crashed train that apparently, I don't know if this is meant to be literal or not, but when he was a kid, he was on a train, and he remembers, before the apocalypse happened, that his childhood memories, I think one of the last things he remembers was being on the train with his parents. So I don't know if this is literally the same train that he was on, and then before all the craziness happened. But even if it's not, it's just cool that it's like a metaphor thing, or he goes into this train and he like lays down, and he's like kind of sleeping, but he's dreaming about his history, that he's all these memories that are coming back to him from before the infection, and then they start to blend dreams and reality, where he's like, as he's imagining himself as the little kid self, and then the lady comes up to ask him for his ticket, but then he doesn't have a ticket, but then she starts like yelling at him, and it's like starting the dream is starting to fade away, and you realize like he's waking up, and it's not his memory anymore. He's surrounded by these other infected that are just normal infected, and he's like, oh, I'm cured now. Now these guys see me as a problem. Now I actually have to, like, they don't just let me exist. I'm actually going to have to fight these things now, which is it's really cool. Like, I just seeing Samson go ham on these infected that are attacking him, and like he's still, even though he's kind of cured, he still has the infected like super strength that he got from the infection. So he's still just like breaking people and like throwing them through windows, and kind of reminded me of a couple different things. First of all, the Hulk, obviously, but then also if you guys watch the show Primal, the main character Spear in that show is like a Neanderthal that's super strong and will physically throw down basically anything. Samson kind of reminded me of Spear, so that kind of made me like him a bit more too. So I appreciate that. And then we'll go back to Kelson, where he's preparing the Bone Temple to make it appear like Satan's palace, and he has this vinyl collection that he's been listening to throughout the movie, and I just, whenever he pulls out the vinyl of Iron Maiden, a giant smile went down my face because I was like, okay, this is going to get really good because he's really going to play it up. And yeah, he puts on a good show for the Jimmies when they show up. Plays Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden, and I'm just going to say it, don't ever enter a lip sync battle with Ray Fiennes because you're going to lose. Because he lip syncs this Iron Maiden song while dancing and like doing these crazy pyrotechnics and all these crazy visuals that he's doing while also doing like lip syncing, which is really interesting because of when the apocalypse happened in like the early 2000s, all these young people, even Jimmy, probably have never heard Iron Maiden before, so they don't catch on that he's lip syncing and that he's not, the voice isn't coming from him. So it's just really funny to see their reaction to it. Also, he sprays hallucinogenics in their face, so they're just tripping balls in this whole scene while the Iron Maiden is blasting and there's fire around them everywhere. It just, man, it's worth the price of admission just to see this scene. Let's see if I can play this right quick. I don't know if it will let me. It might not let me, but let me see if I can. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. But just to give you like a minute. Wait. Okay. Let me try that again. This is my reaction to this scene. Is just,
this is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
thanks, bud. It just, like I said, worth the price of admission alone. Just to see show that Kelson puts on is incredible. And yeah, I didn't expect that. That was so unexpected and fun. Even though it's like, yeah, I know bad stuff's about to go down, but like at least it's a fun scene before all that happens. So then, like, it kind of cuts between this and Samson. Samson comes out of the train and he's just like covered in blood and he's like roaring like a wild animal. It's like fitting in with the Iron Maiden song. It fit really well for that part of the song. But then we get to the actual ritual that they've cooked up. So Jimmy was going into this thinking, so he's going to pretend to be Satan, and he's going to basically give me carte blanche to rule over the fingers however I see fits, and just go about the same business, like reinstitute his authority over the group, because the group is starting to not believe that he is who he says he is. And you may be thinking like, wait, what about Spike during all this? Like, what roles he play in this? He does have a small role in this movie, but he does play a really important role in the part because of because after the commandments scene, I guess you can call it, like the Jimmies are gonna depart from the Bone Temple and go about their business. His mask, he recognizes the face. When he takes his mask off, he's like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. He doesn't want. He sees what the Jimmies are about, and he doesn't want Spike to be a part of that. So he very slyly, very quick on the draw, comes up with a final commandment for Jimmy. As I'm gonna demand a sacrifice, just like God sacrificed his son. I'm gonna sacrifice my son, and it just, boy, it goes to shit really fast when this happens, because then all the Jimmies are confused. They're like, wait, is this guy really Satan? Is he really telling us what to do? Are we supposed to listen to him? Are we supposed to listen to Jimmy? And then, well, Jimmy Yank has just had enough of Jimmy Crystal, so she wants to kill this guy. So I just really like that. They turn all his followers against him, and then ends up in a very ironic predicament that he put himself in for doing all the heinous stuff he was doing all those years. But simply, he does, before he goes, he does knife Kelson, so Kelson is also dying because of what Jimmy did. So that's not as fun, but I really like the exchange between him and Spike when he's just reassuring him that everything's going to be all right, and he knows he's dying, but he's at peace with it. He's not afraid of it. It's the whole thing from the last movie, Memento Mori. You one day you will die. So he's long since come to peace with that ideology, so it's perfectly fine. And so then Jimmy Yank takes Spike away from it into the wilderness to try to figure out what their next move is. Oh, and her name's Kelly, by the way. She tells Spike that her real name, which I thought that was cool, that they learn each other's real name at the end. But then probably I like that. I thought the story was going to end there, but then Samson shows up for one last time and has an exchange with Kelson, which I really like, because Samson can speak now. He's regained most of his faculties. Like he's not fully back to his old self, but he can string words together and at least tell Kelson what he needs to tell him before Kelson dies. And it's really beautiful. He just says, like, thank you, and then picks him up and just takes him off. I don't really know where. I don't think you really see where he takes him, but I thought that was really cool. And then Jimmy, it's really funny that in his predicament, he's just slowly dying, and he still has the hallucinogens in him. So when Samson shows up and he sees Samson as the devil, basically, and it just cracked me up, because I was like, when I saw the hallucinogens, I was like, if Samson shows up, what are they going to see him as? I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that little visual gag there. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty satisfied with Bone Temple. It's a good movie. I do like it more years later. So even though without 28 years later, Bone Temple doesn't happen, basically. But I think it's a really good 1-2 punch of movies that if you're interested in like an apocalyptic story, but like a different type than you've seen before, then it's really worth your time if you're interested in it at all. So I will say thanks, Griff, for dragging me to see 28 Years Later. I actually have come around on it quite a bit. Uh, so I think I am kind of short on time, but I'm not going to spoil anything else about 28 Years Later, the Bone Temple. So I'm just going to briefly touch on Anaconda 2025 because I said that I was going to talk about that. Okay, so this is a really interesting reboot. Another theme of the night was reboots that are like not unexpected or just kind of weird ideas for reboots. So Anaconda in this 2025 film, it's like a meta sequel kind of. It's really bizarre that so in this world that Jack Black and Paul Rudd and gang exist in, they exist in the world that like that's like they watched Anaconda when it came out, and hold on, I'm gonna switch. Okay, here we go. So they watched it when they were younger. They really liked it. Jack Black is an aspiring filmmaker, but is in a job he doesn't like. So he's trying to figure out what's going to be his big break. And then Paul Rudd, his friend, is an actor who also is trying to find his big break because he's just getting bit parts and not getting what he wants in life. So it's kind of like a midlife crisis movie too, which is kind of funny. That so Paul Rudd just pitches to Jack Black, I got the movie rights to Anaconda, so I want to remake it and I want you to direct it. So it's such a weird idea that they just go with it. It's them and then Thandie Newton and Steve Zahn and then the snake handler guy. I can't think of his actor's name, but he's really funny too. They go down to the Amazon to remake Anaconda, but with like zero budget, no experience, no nothing, and it goes very badly, very badly. But I will say, going into it, I thought the movie could be awful because the trailer evidence from me. But whenever Jacob hit me up to if he wanted to go see it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. To see it because I was curious about how they would do this, and man, he and I were just laughing so consistently through this movie. Like it's just I like movies that are about filmmaking and all the perils of filmmaking, how hard it is, and how many things go wrong. Kind of funny. There's multiple Jack Black movies that are about that, with like King Kong, Be Kind, Rewind, Tropic Thunder. Like he seems to really like filmmaking and like doing stories about filmmaking. So if you're at all like that, it's really interesting if you like those kind of things. Me being starting out video production in high school, and with Griff was also in video production. Logan was in video production with me. Jacob would do stuff with us occasionally too, but I kind of saw a lot of myself and my friends in these characters, that they're just a bunch of people that are really passionate trying to do something and it's just not going right at all. But I was surprised that it's Anaconda, so I'm like, yeah, there's going to be a big snake at some point. It's going to show up and cause mayhem. But I was surprised how little of the story it's actually in. Like it's just like it's there for like the second half of the movie, basically. Also, I'm just really happy that this movie wasn't quite what I expected, because I thought it was just literally going to be the same movie as Anaconda, just as a dumb comedy. But the meta-ness of it and the filmmaking aspects of it, I really appreciated. Heck, even Paul Rudd's character's name is literally Griff. So Griff, if you watch this, I think you'll really like this movie. You'll at least see a little bit of what I see in it. So yeah, there's some good twists and turns. One of my only problems with it, like, 'cause I think it's genuinely pretty funny. My only problem is that it's not R-rated. If it was R-rated, you would get to do a lot more like screwed up humor and violence, which, it's a personal taste thing, but Tropic Thunder is one of my favorite movies, and how deranged and how badly things go in that movie for the people making the movie. I just wish there was a bit more of an edge to this movie. But there is one scene with Paul Rudd and an assault rifle that made me laugh really hard, because I was like, oh no, this is going to end terribly. But yeah, overall it's very funny. The last half of it, like the first half, you kind of understand. That's kind of what the trailer is selling you, is that it's these amateur filmmakers going to remake a movie, and then a giant snake shows up and starts picking people off. So you're like, oh, okay, I get the premise. But like with the 28 Years Later movies, it's not. What I was seeing was only like half of the picture. Going into it, when like the second half of it happens, it's so different. Like it becomes way more meta. It just keeps pulling things out that I did not expect. And I won't spoil like some people that show up in the movie and some things that happen, but I really enjoyed it. It was really a great time. And I will say Jack Black, he always like loves old rock and roll and metal and stuff, and whenever he's in a movie, he always tries to inject a little bit of his musical taste in the movie, which I did in this movie. So I appreciated that. The couple of action scenes, one set to Back in Black, and one of them is Kickstart My Heart, which are two songs I really like. And then even just like using music to make a scene funnier, like there's one scene where a CCR song is playing that I did not expect. I hadn't heard it in years. I was like, oh, with a song you haven't heard in such a long time. I was like, that's really cool. I appreciate that you did that. Okay, so I'm starting to wrap up here since I'm about out of time, but in final thoughts, I think the 28 Years Later movies, if you like those kind of movies, you should definitely check them out if you haven't. Anaconda, even though I was lukewarm on it going in, didn't think I would like it that much, ended up really liking it and really appreciating it. If the stuff I brought up about these movies, then check them out when you get the time to. Because I actually figured out that I think Anaconda goes on digital like this week, so you shouldn't have to wait for it too long. I hope 28 Years Later, Bone Temple does more better in the box office, because I know it wasn't doing it fantastic, but it was doing all right. I know they're planning on making a third one, so I really hope that they get to make the third one, because I think that's the movie people were really wanting. Even though the last two movies I think are good, I think the next one has potential to be even better. Oh, and I will say the I was really afraid that they would sequel bait with Anaconda, that they would want to do like a reboot trilogy, like so many franchises are doing now, which doesn't make any sense because a lot of them, like, they're not known for being a trilogy. So why would you reboot and make a trilogy? But thankfully, the way Anaconda 2025, okay, this was a one-time thing. It was fun. It didn't overstay its welcome. It's only like 90 minutes, so it really flew by, and it was a good time. So I appreciated it for what it was. Wasn't expecting anything great out of it, but I had a lot of fun with what it gave me. I think I've rambled on enough for tonight, and I appreciate everybody that watched and came on, and I hope to do these a bit more often. Just gonna briefly say some. I might be doing a live stream of the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's gonna work out entirely, but I'll see what I can do. I should have said it when he was on, but wish Logan a happy birthday this week because it's the end of January. His 29th, so wish him a happy birthday, happy early birthday. So Super Bowl, and then I was gonna do a couple other things. I'm gonna continue the Ben 10 reviews and get that out in December this year for Alien Force because my niece and nephew really enjoyed doing the first video with me, so I'm gonna continue that. Last year I did the Demon Slayer videos. I did for the series and for the movie. This year I'm also gonna start an anime series. I'm probably gonna release. I'm planning on doing those in the summer, like probably June. But since a trailer drop and the next series is coming out for it, I'll go ahead and say it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7 comes out this year, and I'm gonna figure out how to watch it somehow. Maybe I have to get Netflix to do it, but I'll figure it out. But I really want to talk about JoJo. That's one of the things that the fans of my channel from way back in the day remember that I would do JoJo upload too. So I'm gonna do. I think I'm planning on doing parts 1 and 2 of JoJo this summer, if I can do it. They're the short parts of the anime series, so I'll do my best. I'll see if I can get Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency this year. Because I really like those parts, and I think it'd be a fun new venue for the channel. So, yeah. And then eventually work my way up, eventually to part 7, because that'll be in like 3 years. It should be done at that point. So I just want to cover all of JoJo, at least the original continuity, parts 1 through 6. And then part 7 if I still feel like doing it at that point. But I know part 7 is supposed to be incredible, so I'm excited for that. Let me know what you guys think of the 28 Years movies, the Anaconda film if you saw it, and what are you excited for in 2026? And if you have like any recommendations for the channel, anything you want me to take a look at or at least consider doing for the channel, let me know. I'm always up for new ideas. I'm trying to come up with some things right now for more immediate stuff, but I'll figure it out and I'll let you know as soon as I know, okay? So, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm glad that you're here with me in 2026. Glad to be here. Glad to start a whole new adventure with live streaming. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I plan on doing like one a month, just depending on what month it is, what the topics will be. This was just an experiment, so we'll continue experimenting and see what we want to do. But thanks for watching and listening, and I'm gonna stop yapping now. I'm very tired. But thank you for being here with me, and I hope to see you in the future. Okay. Peace.